Alright, what is going on, boys? Savage Gaming here, and we are going to revive an old series I know you guys loved in the past. Fake History is back. Now, if you are new to the channel, basically I just take a real or just completely made-up event that I just happen to be thinking of at the point in time when I start jotting these entertaining little quips down, and I basically just make a whole spiel about it, trying to convince you guys that it actually happened. Usually that's not the case. For example, we always point back to the oft-forgotten 6th beach landing on D-Day, Condé custard pie, where thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of clowns piled out of 3 tightly packed transport ships armed with only balloon or one of those little Christmas poppers and custard pies themselves. So many clowns lost that day. Or just a general, entertaining spin on the Emu War, which we all know happens, and Australia lost. Probably because they didn't use their boomerangs. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about an interesting division during World War II called the Ghost Division. Spooky, I know. Ghosts. Ooh. Now, as legend has it, they were a division formed from the best of the best, and I mean the tippity top of the food chain during World War II by the German army. Now, I am here to tell you some news. They weren't actually people. They were ghosts! Nah, that doesn't make any sense. They were demons. Ooh, evil. And foreshadow. But we'll get back to that at a later point in time. You know what? No, they weren't demons. They were zombies. That's not overused at all. They were zombies! Ooh! That's a totally original idea. Nazi zombies. Huh. Who would have thunk? Anywho, the time is World War II. And basically, the division, the Ghost Division, basically, was comprised of ghosts. Hence, Ghost Division. They were named... I don't know really... I don't really how to explain it, but the Germans named things very literally back then. Like, we have Ghost Division, we got Tiger Tanks, and whew, lad, let me tell you, it was a mess in the beginning. And you thought Siegfried and Roy had a bad time? Whew! Ain't seen nothing yet, lads. Woo! Anyway, getting back, the Ghost Division was the Ghost Division was primarily the premier supernatural group during World War II, coming right above the Night Witches of the Russian army and the Aegis Kraken defense of the French. Those will be discussed at a later point in time if you're so interested, but for now, we're all about the Ghost Division. The Ghost Division was basically able to reinforce the front at any hour, any mere hour. So they were basically stationed in Berlin, and they had a big name for themselves in the attack on Poland. Now they absolutely dominated. That's basically what, sprung, hey, we should have this division be a thing. These guys are really good. We should really just make a best of the best division, because that seems, let's put all the eggs in one basket, because you can't really do that once during a war. You have to do it at least 3 or 4 times, obviously, to ensure total victory, which clearly was the case back then. Jeez. Anywho, so these guys continued on up to Russia, up to the Battle of Kursk, where they were 100% decisively victorious. Now, don't mind this map. This is literally just the defensive of everybody pushing Germany back. So that's just, what I could come up with at this point. But they're like, hey, Stalin, we're at your gate. And they're like, oh, wait, we're needed over here. So they basically just, went over here. That's pretty much that. They were active during the Normandy landings, the whole Operation Overlord. They were basically the division that showed up on the beachheads. Not that one that were faked out over on the, oh goodness, what coast? The other coast. The other coast that, you know, all the tanks, well, you guys know what I'm talking about. If you've like ever heard anything about World War II, the whole coast, that was basically just an entire ruse. The whole ruse coast, that's what it was. My God. Anywho, they were very, very detrimental to that. Not only that, but they were also detrimental to taking France in itself, along with Dunkirk. Very impressive. Now, they were not a super big, you know, they weren't superly effective against the French Kraken, but like I said, the French Kraken will be discussed in a completely different episode if you guys are interested in hearing about the French Kraken, because the French be Kraken. Anywho, the composition of the actual Ghost Division itself, we have 2 Spectral Cannon anti-tank platoons, 5 Wraith squads, a brigade of undead troopers, 1 platoon of shock troopers armed with generator backpacks and like shock sticks. So basically they almost like beat the crap out of people and like shot electric. Basically everybody in that platoon was essentially just static shock. That's pretty much how that was. And 2 full brigades of plog tanks. The entire brigade at the very end, and for most of it, was Hasso von Ramenfrank. Pretty sure I just swallowed my tongue trying to say that name, to be honest. Ah, that hurt. That hurt a lot. But yeah, they were effective in every front. They were everywhere. It's almost like they were, you know, tons of different divisions scattered across the front to try to, you know, scare the enemy, thinking that this division was like ridiculously fast in getting from point A to point B to point F to point Z. But in reality, they were actually really fast, and the infrastructure was incredible, trying to get from the eastern to the western front as long as it wasn't compromised, which was an impressive feat all in itself, but I regress. We have these wonderful, wonderful, you know, zombies and plog tanks, which clearly that's a plog tank, and obviously enough that's a zombie. And we're going to zoom in on the map even more, because they were eventually defeated in the early spring of 45. They actually surrendered to the British in May of 45. But I'll actually show you where they actually ended up dying. And here we are. Perfect. We are in northern, super duper northern Poland. Now, these guys were absolutely berated by the Russian Night Witches for, oh, goodness knows how long. The Night Witches... The Night Witches were always able to keep track of these guys for unknown reasons. They probably had some type of, you know, magic tracking locator or something along the lines of that. Just slapped on one of those bad boys. They were zombies, so like it's not like they could feel anything anyway. Regardless, they were outmatched and outgunned through years of decomposition. They finally got knocked down to size in the Hel Peninsula off the northern coast of Poland, a little bit north of Gdansk or Danzig, if you will, if you are not familiar with either one of those, or one or the other, basically. Danzig or Gdansk, either one. Regardless, they were basically caught by the British. They were evacuating the Hel Peninsula. They evacuated back to Berlin, and we're back in Berlin, and eventually they surrendered to the British, and somehow, they're still not entirely sure what happened, but 2 Wraith squads were never actually caught, and they were just presumed lost at the Hel Peninsula retreat. Nobody really knows what happened to them. They could be... they can't be dead because they're already dead. They're wraiths, so... Oh, maybe they're just out there haunting the world. Spooky. But yeah, that's pretty much the Ghost Division. If you guys were interested in more fun fake history, I'll definitely give it another crack. Let me know if you guys are interested. My name is Savage Gaming, and I will see you guys on another video. Bye for now.